I was just a kid that liked Star Wars as a kid, but when Revenge of the Sith came out, something inside of me changed where I just felt very connected to this universe. May the Force be with you, Target Dog, and it's episode 3. I saw the Ahsoka blaster box of 24 Chrome, and I bought one of those, and it was game over. As far as fun wise, I think Rebel ScumCon was probably the most fun I've had as far as like just vacation and just hanging out in general.
Hey guys, it's Jedi Lex, and welcome to another episode of Beyond Tatooine, where I bring on different collectors to talk about how their love of Star Wars originated, as well as take a look at and chat about their collections. And on today's episode, we have a very special guest. We have Steven, or Battle Poppy, the owner of Battle Packs. How are we doing
Hello,
today?
hello. I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I am doing so good. I am so happy to have you on. Over this past year, we have become great friends, and it is a
Yes.
pleasure. If I didn't meet you in Japan, I don't know what I would do because you are an awesome person. And
Thank you.
ever since
Thank
we
you.
met in Japan, we're like this, ride or dies.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I love
exactly.
it.
Beautiful. That means a lot. And likewise, yeah, ever since we met in Japan, it's been a fun group to be a part of.
It
Really,
has
really
been.
feel at home with everyone. Yeah.
It's a good feeling. But for people
Yeah.
who may not know you, can you tell us a little bit about your channel, what you focus on, and where people can find you at?
Yeah. Okay, cool. So I've never really done something like this before. So let's see what I whip up real quick. So my real name, my government name is Steven Lopez. It's what I go by. Everyone my whole life has called me Stilo. Online, I started a company called Battle Packs, and originally we focused. If you're a fan of Star Wars Lego, you know what a battle pack is. So we focused on Star Wars Lego. That was the main focus. My bread and butter, my morning to night, obsession. I got my what remains of my Lego collection. I got my gunship back there. I see you have a ton of Lego right behind you too. But yeah, so I started off in Lego. Down the line, met Tony. We both got into cards coincidentally at the same time, and we started streaming around the same time. And it's just been game over for Lego, and now it's just been full on the cards as of recently. So that yeah. So if a lot of people ask where the name Battle Packs comes from, it comes from the Lego side of things.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, battle packs, it's definitely a thing, especially if you're trying to like clone, build your clone army, things like that.
yeah. Army building. Yeah,
They definitely come
yes,
into to handy. And I know that you're kind of, starting to do YouTube a little bit more seriously. What is your
yeah.
kind of, at least right now, what is your vision for your YouTube channel?
You know what? That's been the hardest thing for me to figure out, and I've spent probably the last decade trying to figure that out, and by and I kind of came to the realization that the more I think about it, that's obviously not going to get me anywhere. So I kind of just decided to start something. So that's where the Stranger Things videos came from. Just kind of me I need to do something, start making content. So that's where the reactions came from. As far as the long term channel, I don't know exactly where we're going. All I know is we're going somewhere. So it's more about a journey, not really the destination kind of situation for me right now. I'd like to really explore my creative side and put that on YouTube because that's one of not explore my creative side personally because I've been doing that my whole life, but kind of start putting that out there. I tend to be pretty good at a lot of little random things, so I'd like to kind of start monetizing that. Not for money, but in a sense where it makes it kind of worth it for me to keep doing and all that kind of stuff. But we'll see. YouTube channel is really just going to be about me and my journey on this whole battle packs, kind of reviving the Lego side of things, and then getting this whole card thing, and then just me and everything in between. So
No,
yeah,
I mean, and the hardest part sometimes is just starting. Like, you just gotta
yeah,
do it. You just gotta post and record, or you gotta record that first video or whatever it is, and then just post it. And then everything else
yeah.
will just come to you. And I tell people that all the time. They're like, I don't know if I want to start content, this and that. I'm like, you just gotta do it. Because if you sit on it, you think about it too long, it won't get done, as you were saying. So you
Yeah,
just gotta
exactly.
go with it. And then someone else was asking, they're like, well, I have, multiple interests and things like that. And I was like, well, don't put yourself into a corner. If you have multiple interests, explore them, because once you like kind of keyhole
Yeah,
yourself into Star Wars, that's going to be your audience, is just Star Wars people. You'll reach more people if you're just sharing your general interests. So don't limit yourself in your YouTube channel unless that's like the brand that you're
yeah,
trying to build and where you're trying to go with it and that's your vision. But you just got to
yeah,
do it, and I guarantee multiple people out there are going to have the same interest as you and people will watch. So you kind of just got to jump into it and then see where
yeah,
it takes you.
exactly.
That's it.
100% agree. Yeah, yeah. That's literally what I'm experiencing through my YouTube channel right now. It's kind of like ever since I started doing the long form YouTube, all of a sudden, just the confidence to just post all the short form and just kind of keep things rolling has been a big boost for me
Good.
since
And
since I
it's
started posting long form. Yeah,
Yeah, and it's been great to see your videos come out, you're posting more shorts. It's awesome to see, for
yeah,
sure.
yeah,
And I do have some general questions that I kind of ask all of my guests. And the
yeah.
first one is going to be, what was your introduction to Star Wars and what really made you fall in love with the franchise?
Oh man. So I don't remember not knowing about Star Wars. So Star Wars to me was like my first Halloween, I was Darth Vader. Second Halloween, I was like Jar Jar. No, no, no. I wasn't old enough yet. I think I was Obi. Every Halloween until like 6 or 7 years old, I was a Star Wars character. But I grew up before the prequels came out, which is not like grew up. It was like I grew up I was born 95. The prequels came out in 94. So for some reason in those 4 years, my uncles thought it was a good idea to show me the original trilogy on well, it's because of the special editions came out on VHS. So I grew up watching those for those first 4 years, and then my parents kind of like picked up that I was liking Star Wars. So when the Phantom Menace came out, they took me to watch that in theaters. So that was actually my first ever movie theater experience was the Phantom Menace, and it's just been nonstop since then. Episode 2 came out. That was a big deal for me to see like Yoda, Anakin as a teenager, all this kind of just a lot of these ideas that you only kind of thought about, never really got to see. You got to see lightsaber fighting in a way that was only talked about like in the books and comics and stuff. So that was really cool to see. And then obviously Revenge of the Sith came out. When Revenge of the Sith came out, that was like the solidify. That's what made me like the Star Wars fan forever. Like I was just a kid that liked Star Wars as a kid, but when Revenge of the Sith came out, something inside of me changed where I just felt very connected to this universe. And a lot has to do with Anakin for sure. Yeah.
No, that was, I mean, I am a 2000s baby, so really the first movie I remember watching was Phantom Menace, and I was hooked. I was like, I like Star
Yeah.
Wars. I loved Jar Jar, loved little Annie, the pod racing, everything about episode 1 was captivating to me, even though I know that's like kind of a divisive opinion because I know not a lot of people like episode 1, but
Yeah, yeah,
episode
yeah.
3 really locked me in. That is my all-time favorite movie, like the lightsaber duel, seeing Anakin turn to the dark side. And as I've gotten older, and like earlier this year when I watched it in theaters, it meant even more to me now getting to see it in theaters because that was the first time I've seen it in theaters, which is
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
crazy. But like, there's just so many underlying things that I never saw when I was younger that when I saw it on the big screen as, a young woman or
Yeah.
young adult, I was like, damn, this shit is deep. Like, so
Yeah, it's
episode 3,
crazy.
it has so much meaning to me, so I totally understand it.
Yeah. Yeah, and I got lucky. I was very blessed that my parents were supportive of the whole Star Wars thing for me, and, although I was 10 years old when Revenge of the Sith came out and they had, like, the midnight viewing, so, obviously, my mom was like, "Dude, you're not gonna stay up till 3 in the morning on a school night to go watch Star Wars." But she was like, "I'll take you to the premiere." So we went there around, like, 6 p.m. and we stayed until, like, 9 or 10, and she just walked me around. We got to see all the cosplayers. They had, like, the Imperial March with Vader and a bunch of stormtroopers down Hollywood. So I got to, like, witness that, and then the next day, she surprised me. She took me out of school early, and then we went to go watch the movie. Yeah, which actually, you know what? Really quick, I just found this today. Oh, I hope I could find it. Where is it? I just saw it 10 seconds ago. Oh, here it is. This is so the movie theater we went to was next to a Target, and Target came outside and handed I was May the Force be with you Target dog, and it's episode 3 proof waiting in line is evidence or something. The proof, yeah, whatever. This is my proof that I waited in line in 2005.
That is so cool, and it's
May
got the dog with the lightsaber in its mouth. That's so
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. So this means a lot to me.
No,
Yeah.
that is I've never seen that before. I didn't even know that was a thing. That's
Yeah,
pretty
it's really
cool.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So, the first movies that you really watched were original trilogy. Episode 1 hit for you, and then 3. It kinda sounds like 3 might be your favorite. What is your favorite movie?
Yeah, 3 for sure is my favorite. 100%. And on it's super biased, super nostalgic. I'm not saying it's the best written movie. I'm not saying it has the best CGI or the best graphics or the best acting. It's 100% a biased nostalgic. I was 10 years old and it was some of the greatest times of my life. So I don't care what anyone says. That's the greatest. Now, if you want to go like analytic, like story wise, filming wise, directing, everything, I will give it to Empire Strikes Back. I will like if you want to talk about a technical good movie, Empire Strikes Back is an amazing sequel to A New Hope, and that's very hard to do. To make the set part two better than part one is damn near impossible, and then to make part three even better is like that's insane. So he did it twice with the original trilogy and one, two, and three, which is pretty insane to do.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
there are some people who kind of break up their favorite movie. They're like, "Well, are you asking what the best is or what my favorite is?" And sometimes it's the
yeah,
same, sometimes it's different. I definitely am biased, as you were saying, it that Revenge of the Sith just sits with me for childhood memories and reasons and just carries on. So it is what it
yeah,
is. But Empire is a great movie as well. And you kind of
yeah,
mentioned Anakin has a special place in your heart. Is he your favorite
yeah.
character?
Uh, I wouldn't say he's my favorite character. Darth Vader is my favorite character. I know that's a kind of a loaded answer because they're the same person, but we all have we see them as separate entities. Um, Anakin is an emotion. They're just a very emotional characters for me. Very. I grew up relating to Anakin a lot when I was a kid, and then the whole Darth Vader thing. To me, Darth Vader was always just like that that pain. I don't know. I really don't know how to explain it. The pain Vader feels like I for some reason resonate with that. And it's kind of like this big clunky robot, half human, heartbroken kind of guy. Like not saying that that's me, but something about that I relate to a lot. So it's between Vader and Anakin, but Vader 1,000%, 100 with the suit, not Sith eyes Anakin. Vader with the suit. Yeah,
Gotcha. And we'll definitely have a follow up to that later because I know you had a special card made in relation to Vader and kind of the pain that he feels.
yeah,
But I mean, everyone's different how they classify. Some people just lump Anakin and Vader together, some people separate them out. But I think it really just
yeah,
depends. But how everyone views it is valid. I mean, you could see them as two separate characters, you can see them as one. It is what it is, but it makes
yeah,
sense. And Vader's a badass, so it's valid.
yeah.
And my last question, as far as kind of getting to know you and your Star Wars story, is what is your favorite show? It can be either live action or animated or just one in
Ooh.
general, however you want to break it down.
Not the 9 movies, now just the Disney Plus stuff.
Yeah, just like the shows.
It's hard. That's such a because the shows is where you get the meat and potatoes, you know what I mean? The movies are great, don't get me wrong, the movies are great, but, like, what you get the real dopamine out of the show, so that's a hard question. So but I think I know my answer, and it's not the Clone Wars as a series. The Clone Wars is a great TV show, and there's so much good lore in it. And I am consider myself a semi Clone Wars expert because of the Lego and the amount of knowledge I have to know about Clone Wars to do the Clone Wars Lego we did from character names, character designs, ship designs, color schemes, just every damn detail you can think of. I got from the Clone Wars, but it's not even the whole series. The best thing Disney has done with the Star Wars IP is season 7, the last 4 episodes. The last 4 episodes of season 7 of the Clone Wars is some of the greatest Star Wars we've ever gotten. I don't care what you compare it to, it beats it. You can bring up Rogue One, you can bring up Revenge of the Sith, anything. This is like it beats it from the from the characters, from the acting, from the voice acting, from the animation, the plot, the way they tie in. It has that last 4 episodes has dialogue that rivals Luke Invader Return of the Jedi or Empire Strike Back dialogue. You get what I'm saying? The Maul and Ahsoka dialogue is some of the greatest dialogue we have gotten since Disney has taken over Star Wars. So that's my answer. Long answer. That short answer. Last 4 episodes of season 7.
The you talking about it literally gave me goosebumps, but season
Yeah,
7, it's hard for me because I love Clone Wars and I love Rebels, but every time I think about Clone Wars, it's Clone Wars. Every time I think about Rebels, it's Rebels. But season
yeah,
7, I think just regardless if you're just looking at Disney animation and you had to pick one season, season 7 of the Clone Wars is, as you said, some of the best Star Wars material
yeah,
that we've really ever gotten. And I got to chalk it up to Filoni, and it makes me very excited to see where he's going to take Ahsoka and just future projects, especially the Maul Shadow Lord project. So,
yes,
season 7 is peak Star Wars, and I think people who kind of count animation out when it comes to Star Wars are really missing out. And I try to tell everybody, I'm like, you have to just give it a chance. At least just go skip to 7. Like, give it
yeah,
a chance. You won't regret it. And it fills in so much in between the movies. And there's some people that are like, I hated the prequels until I watched the Clone Wars, because then I was understanding a little bit more of Obi and Annie's dynamic. I was understanding Anakin a little bit more. Like, it really helped kind of fill that in. And now I like the
yeah,
prequels and I enjoy watching them because it means more to me. So
yeah,
just give animation a chance. But season 7 is peak, just like peak
yeah,
Star Wars in general. So
yeah.
100% agree with you.
And a lot of people don't realize it's 7 seasons of 3 years. It's just between episodes 2 and 3. It's
Hmm.
not like this whole grand story that goes into like all these different eras. It's literally 3 years of just the Clone Wars. And obviously, Revenge of the Sith is the end, and Attack of the Clones is the beginning. It's just the meat, like I said, the meat and potatoes. It's the meat of the sandwich. It's all the good stuff.
It is the good stuff.
Yeah,
But those were all the kind of introduction questions that I had. This year, we did get to attend a lot of conventions, and some of them we went to together, like Celebration. We went to Rebel
yeah.
ScumCon together. I know you did some others, like ICCC. I believe you went to another one with Jungle. Yeah,
Colorado, something, something. Yeah,
something like
something
that.
around
And then
Colorado.
you also
Yeah,
did
Fan
National.
Expo. Yeah,
Yeah, Fan
yeah,
Expo and then
Nationals.
Nationals. So, what was your favorite convention experience this year?
Oh, it depends on which way you want to look at it. From a business standpoint, because going to these conventions technically is part of the business. From a business standpoint, my favorite was the National. The National just it when it comes to money wise, you know what I mean? We made good money. It was fun. We got to hang out with all the friends. And going to Star Wars Trade Night was one of the coolest things I've done in a long time. I felt exclusive. I felt a part of something that like not anyone can just be a part of. You know what I mean? Which obviously we'll allow anyone to join in. It's all open arms, but it just felt cool that we have like a big enough community where we could have an exclusive thing where people from I think Ronsky came from Dubai. People were coming from Mexico. Like it was insane. The amount of the different people that came in from different parts of the world was cool. So that was that. But as far as fun wise, I think Rebel ScumCon was probably the most fun I've had as far as like just vacation and just hanging out in general. Yeah,
Interesting. So Rebel
yeah.
ScumCon over Celebration this year.
So it's celebration was stressful. Celebration was really stressful. Yeah.
Was it?
So it was so because I only went so I didn't do the thing where people like showed up like a week early and got to hang out. So
Mhm.
like I showed up like a day before celebration. So like I showed up, I was tired. So it was just boom, boom, boom from the second I got there. And then we had like 2 days to do other things, and then we left. So I didn't really get to like have like I wouldn't say it was fun, but I didn't get to like enjoy time. Every hour we were like next hotel, next day, next this, that, we gotta go here, we gotta go there, because we didn't have too much time to do this. So we do celebration in the day, and then at night we were trying to fill it in with as much like random stuff as possible. So
No,
it was
that's
just hectic.
understandable.
It was a definitely a really good experience to go experience Japan. But ask me when I go back on like a more chill vibe. Yeah.
Yeah. Me and
But
Tony were talking about that
Rebel,
on the last episode. We were like, we
yeah,
just have to go back. So that way there's no
yeah,
celebration. We just go, we get to enjoy, do whatever. But no,
yeah.
that's interesting. I mean, I enjoyed Celebration, but I did also really enjoy Rebel Scum Con. And I don't know if it's because Rebel Scum Con was like, freshest in my head right now, because I was probably the second to last con that I went to this year. But I don't know. I had a really great time. And like as soon
Yeah,
as we left, I was like, I'm ready for next year. Like, bring it
yeah,
on. Like,
literally, yeah,
what's going
yeah.
on? And speaking of next year, we do have some plans as far as Rebel Scum Con goes. You want
Yes,
to talk about
ma'am.
it?
Of course, very exciting. But so what the dates is 7th through the 9th, right?
That's
I'm
correct.
so bad with with
Hmm.
remembering dates. So yeah, so Rebel ScumCon 7th through the 9th. Me, Tony, Lex, and Victoria will be, and I think actually Jungle got a table
Jungle.
in the
Yep.
mix with us. So us five will be vending Star Wars cards and memorabilia live in person. Rebel ScumCon. Yeah, so very exciting. I've never done anything like it. So it's gonna be a learning experience, but it's gonna be really fun.
It
The
is.
only thing is the drinking is gonna. I can't drink that much because there's no way I'm gonna be selling cards with the drinks. But yeah, yeah. Rebel Scum Con card vending should be a good time. Are you
Yeah.
excited? Are you ready?
I don't know if I'm ready, but I'm excited. I mean, I was
Yeah.
talking to Tony about it. It's really the first time that, at least that I am going to be vending at a con, so it's going to be a different experience. I'm going to be on the flip side of it rather than just being like
Yes.
an attendee. And there's a lot of like research and things that I want to do because like I want to be able to get content while I'm there and still kind of provide, because usually my YouTube as far as convention goes is I really want to give people the experience that they're right alongside with me. So whether
Yeah.
most of the time it's been as someone that's attending. So like I want you to feel like you're attending the con with me. But on the flip side now, going to Rebel Scum Con, how am I going to give that same experience but as a vendor?
It's still gonna be great. It's just gonna be different. It's
Yes.
gonna be a very different experience. You know what? The closest thing because that's why, because when I think about Rebel Scum Con, and not to put them against each other, the other con I think about is ICCC. They're
Hmm.
very similar cons in the fact that they're Star Wars and everyone there is Star Wars. But the thing with ICC, where it was harder for me to have as much fun because we still, had the hotel rooms where we drink and hang out with everyone, and everyone just comes in. But you're doing the room sales, so like it's hard for me to have fun when I have like $3,000 worth of my shit just hanging
Yeah.
out everywhere, and all these random people are in and out. So like it's fun, but you're also on like high alert, trying to make sure, okay, every 10 minutes you're like 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, those are all there. These are all there. Making sure everything's, because it gets a little hectic. So with Rebel ScumCon, that wasn't there, and we had the Boon to Eve. So I just fully locked in on just like the all fun, all times, whatever we want to do, we just did it. So maybe this year it's gonna be a little like ICC, where you just have like the anxiety of like, well, I gotta wake up early tomorrow, set up the table. I don't think we can be up till 4 tonight. You know what I mean?
I mean, YOLO. You only live once.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
I guess we'll have to wait and see though, because I mean, I
yeah,
understand it's definitely going to be different. Our priorities are different. I mean, at least compared to this year, we pretty much just got to have fun, do whatever, show up whenever,
yeah,
just record,
exactly.
do whatever we needed to do. But this year, we definitely are more. It's gonna be we're on a little bit more of a schedule, and we got to be more mindful, especially of
Yeah,
certain things, because we need to be responsible. But at the same time, I think even though we're going to be on more of a schedule and it might be more stressful, I think it's going to be a good time. I think the communities that we're, at least that I'm starting to build up, that you and Tony have built, and as well as Jungle, I think it's going to attract a lot of people to Rebel Scum Con, and I think we're going to be able to fill the void that we kind of noticed this year as far as Star Wars cards. And I think people are going to
Yeah.
be super excited. I mean, people are messaging me. They're like, "Oh, I'm so ready to go. Like, we're going to rip packs. We're going to do this." And I'm like, "Yeah, we're pretty much going to, I mean, do the rip and sip minus possibly the sip, at least for us, or the limited sip, rip and limited sip
Limited sip.
at the
Yeah.
table." So, like, I think it's going to be fun regardless. It's just going to be different.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's gonna be like I said, it's gonna be a learning experience because I don't think any of us have ever done anything like it. Like you said, we've always been on the other side of the table. So to be on this side now, it's gonna be fun. It'll be interesting.
It'll be an experience, to say the
Yeah.
least.
Yeah.
But you
Well,
did
we'll be
send
we'll be on another episode after talking about
yes.
it.
Yes, we will have to
Yeah.
do a debrief because it'll be interesting to
Yeah.
hear everyone's thoughts on it. But you did send
Yeah.
me some pictures of some cards that you have in your PC, your personal collection,
Yes.
and I just wanna hear about them. I know about a few of them, but for the people who don't, give us the lowdown.
So so I don't collect much personally. I consider myself like a minimalist. So having a lot of stuff, I'll buy something and have it for a little bit, and then eventually I'll get rid of it or trade it or something for the next dopamine hit I'm looking for. But these are to me more on like the sentimental side of things, like more on that kind of collecting. So the front two were straight up gifts, nothing I ever asked for, nothing I didn't hit up Jungle, so I don't know if you guys can tell, but those are from Jungle Jedi. Very good friend of mine. He is a tops artist and does a lot of good sketch. So this was before Jungle Jedi was the Jungle Jedi. This is before he was just Jungle Jedi. Now he's the Jungle Jedi. But so he gave this to me at ICC. The one on the left was a birthday gift, and in the beginning of the video, I did mention how I started off with Lego, and Lego was my end all be all. And that's technically Darth Vader because that's Sith Eyes Anakin. So he made me a 101 Sith Eyes Anakin Lego minifigure sketch card, and it's on video. I will be posting the video pretty soon, but he gave that to me on my birthday at ICC. So that means a lot to me. Gift giving is my love language, like between me and my girl and like the family and stuff. So to me, that's like it means a lot. The one on the right, he got wind that Claude was one of my favorite characters, and he thought it was just so funny. So we were just chilling at ICC, and he's like, "Yo, I got you a second birthday sketch," and he did like a 10-minute just on the table Claude pencil sketch, and it came out like looking like a Picasso piece of fine art. So I kept that. Those are something that like even if someone offered me, a, a Lamborghini, I'd probably say no. Those are keeping. Same with the sketch at the top middle. That's a Tracy Easterday one of one commission that I got to pick up at Celebration. So she opened up commissions and allowed us to kind of buy a spot and pick whatever we wanted. And we got to meet with her at Celebration and pick it up. So it was like this, not just like buying a sketch, there's a whole like this experience tied to it. It kind of like once I bought this sketch, it was like, there's no way I'm backing out and going to Japan now. You know what I mean? I have to go get this sketch. But yeah, so I told her, like I said, Vader and his emotions and pain, I really relate to a lot. So something about Vader constantly like having that like visiting Padme's burial site to me is just like some of the saddest, most painful thing I think a man could go through. And I think it's portrayed really well through Star Wars. So I had her make me that. Means a lot to me. It just that love he has for him, for her and the family, and just like the reason why he becomes Vader is trying to protect her, but it ends up it's like some Romeo and Juliet shit. So like yeah, that card really captures that because that's like the monster looking down at what he caused and kind of shit. So yeah, again, that to me sentimental, can't get rid of. Now the two on the top left and right, those are Luke rookie cards. The one on the left is an original 1977 Mark Hamill autographed on card, graded, not a PSA grade 10, but the autograph is a 10 and it's authentic. So that's legit. I am looking to get rid of that, but not because I want to get rid of it for the money. I want to get something the same one, but a higher grade. And then that, whatever that is, I'm not selling. I'm just putting it away forever. So I'm trying to get an 8 or a 9 We'll see how that goes. If not, I'm keeping this for as long as I possibly can. And that's that. Now, the one on the right, I think I would need to have like cancer or my arms falling off for me to have to sell this card. And that reason is, again, gift. It was a gift from someone. I don't know if you guys know who CB Folk is from Whatnot. Um, Very cool guy. At one point, he was uh, considered a Whatnot whale because the dude was buying any and everything from people's store. He would come in my shop and just buy like 10 hobby boxes and just leave. Like it was just on a random Tuesday. And he did it a lot. He was doing it a lot. But shout out to him. So he came in one day, he pulled that, and then he was like, "Yo, can you get it graded for me?" So I said, "Yeah." So I sent it to get graded, and it got a 10. And it got a 10 at the same exact time that I bought that Luke. And then I was like, "Yo, this got a 10. I kind of want to keep it because I had the both of them." I was like, "How much do you want for it?" And he straight up said, "You know what, bro? You've been really good to me. You can just keep it." And it's like a $4,500 card. Yeah.
Wow.
So that,
That's
like I said, I would have to be dying to say, like, I need to sell that card to save my life. Is the only way I could sell that card.
I
Yeah.
mean, we talked about it last week too, but just the Star Wars card community, or like more specifically, like the whatnot community, it's
Yeah.
insane. Like
Yeah.
the love, you don't see that anywhere else. And that is a prime example of it. Like just
Yeah.
the friendliness, the giving, being open, like you don't see that. But in
Yeah.
the card community, you see it quite often, and sometimes it's insane. It can be as little as someone buying a pull for the pull box or like a pack to give away to like
Yeah.
literally having an out of five autograph that you're like, yeah, just do a giveaway for it, or be like, hey, keep this gem mint 10. It's insane.
Yeah, it's cool. And you know what? I That's one of probably the top 3 reasons why I'm still in the Star Wars card community. I was very so before I started the Battle Poppy and the other Battle Packs account, I had the original Battle Packs official account with the Lego, and that one got taken down at like 70 something hundred followers. So almost 8K followers. Instagram deleted that one, and that one had like was fully like on the Lego side of things. And when I've wanted to jump off a bridge more in my life than being in a community full of 16 to 22-year-old kids. And I say that with love. I don't genuinely mean that. I don't hate any of them, but holy shit, the toxicity, the name calling, the just it was insane. I have no idea where to even start with it. It was one of the worst feelings I would wake up with every morning, just reading this shit. Just it was insane. And then on the other side of that, come into the Star Wars community where, like on the Lego side, say I publicly messed up, it was game over. I'm getting shitted on for the next 6 months. On the Star Wars, say I messed up someone's order, it's hey bro, you're good. Let me know if I need to pay extra for shipping. Let me know if there's anything I can do to make it easier. Or say a package like when Mitty, his Mace Windu got lost.
Hmm.
Mitty was cool, you know. Hey, it's in God's hand now. We'll see what happens. Versus on the Lego side, they'd be like, scammer, scammer, scammer. I'm calling the cops. You'll have like, it's insane what the hell the difference in community. Obviously, the card community is a lot older, but I thank God every day for how nice and cool and accepting and giving and just relatable everyone is in this niche that we have going on.
And
Yeah.
it's like it's just crazy to me because I feel like, through my collecting journey over the past few years, I've had my hand in quite a few pots as far as collecting communities, at least within Star Wars, Funko, Lego, etc. Nothing compares to the card community.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I mean, there's definitely a lot of toxicity when it comes to Lego, most of the time Funko, but I don't know. I think it's more towards just the brand itself than each
Yeah.
other. But the card community, that's why I fell in love with it. Because after Japan, like ripping boxes and stuff with you guys, we were all just hanging out. I was never into the cards. I was into the art prints at the time, and I was obsessed with the art prints. Like, I literally have a whole portfolio full of art prints.
Yeah.
And as I was watching you guys rip and then kind of learning more about it, I was like, man, these cards are literally, some of them, especially Galaxy, because that's what got me into it, these cards are literally art prints. And as you can see
Yeah,
by those sketches, they are literally drawn sketches. And I'm so
literally,
jealous
yes.
of the Tracy yesterday because it's insane. All of you guys, when I saw those, I was like, man, because you, Tony, Ricky, Vic got two. Like, I was like,
Yeah, the
these are
scammer, she got two.
beautiful. Yeah, she's crazy. But anyways, but I was like, these are beautiful. And I just, as I started learning more about the cards, I just felt so welcomed into the community. Any questions I had, people were
Yeah,
answering, offering to send me some cards of like people I PC. If I had just purchased one card, people would send me like a few. They're like, here, build up your PC, build your collection up. I was like, this is crazy. And now from the selling aspect of it, it's even funner. Like you build a community, people come just to hang out with you, and I love that. So
yeah,
cards, it's definitely kind of where I want to hang out right now. Like that's,
yeah,
I feel very in it, involved in it. It's fun. And I do
yeah.
love all the sketches that you have. The Tracy, I'm super jealous of the jungles. I mean, I even remember in Japan when he was like talking about it and he was like, I don't know if I can do it. Like, I don't know if I'm going to apply to tops. And we're like, do it, bro. Like, you're so talented. Like, you're really good. And now look, he's a tops artist a few months later. It's fucking
Bro,
crazy.
the one of the coolest things to be a part of, like as a friend, because I'm big on like the like being there for like with supporting the friends and
Yeah.
stuff, and Jungle. I remember the day Jungle was like, because we were pulling sketches. He's like, I don't understand how some of these sketches get through to tops. He's like, I can make better ones than these. I was like, bro, like, what are you talking about? He's like, no, like I could sketch. I was like, bro, what are you talking like? I was like, whatever. He's like, because I bought a printer, so these sketch cards, the blanks, he had asked me if I could make him sketch cards for celebration. So I printed, designed, and made him. So these sketch cards right here. So this the backing right here. I
Yeah.
designed that and everything, and I printed it. I made
Mhm.
him blank. I put his name here. So for celebration, he's like, I want to make sketches. So I made him, I think, 50 of these or something, and he just started making sketches. And next thing you know, I'm looking at these sketches. I'm like, damn, he wasn't lying. He could actually sketch like these motherfuckers. And then time goes by. He's like, I want to apply for tops, and then what's it called? He's like, oh, I don't think I can do it. It's not gonna work. I don't think I can do it. It's not gonna work. And then he actually, I'm not trying to tell a story. This is his story to tell. But and then I think he got denied, and then he reapplied, and then got in. So it's just to see like someone have the idea, go for it, and then go through that experience of like, oh, I don't think I can do it, and then end up doing it is probably one of the coolest. Like, claps for that guy because that's one of the coolest things ever.
No, it's
Yeah.
amazing to see, especially as like a friend and just wanting to support
Yeah.
others in the community. And Jungle is such a wholehearted guy, like truly nothing but love for him. And it's so
Yeah.
cool because I remember in Japan, he's sketching, he's like, I don't know if I can do this, and we're all like, dude, like your sketches are insane. And now to be
Yeah.
a tops artist a few months later, it's just crazy. But I didn't even know that I saw the backings of the cards that he was sketching on. I didn't know that you designed those. That's
Yeah,
pretty
yeah, yeah. So I made the cards for him and everything.
interesting.
Yeah,
Okay.
because he's like, I want to go for. I was like, you know what? Because I needed the practice. I was like, because I was trying, because I used to make my own Galaxy trading cards as business cards and stuff. So that was like my thing, and that's how I learned how to make my own cards and stuff. And then he was like, "I want sketch cards," and to me, it's like I've never made sketch cards before, so this is like again a learning experience. So I took on the job to kind of like figure it out, and now I have people every now and then. I make a batch of like blanks for them and shit. So you've probably seen them around, a bunch of people on whatnot that have sketch cards I've made for them and stuff. Yeah,
Interesting. Didn't know that.
yeah.
But before we kind of get towards the closing questions, I wanted to ask what kind of got you into cards? What was what was the beginning for you of getting into cards and then selling on whatnot compared to where you are now?
Just like in general, right?
Yeah.
So I cards for me, my mom when I was a kid, I had a cool mom. I still have a cool mom, but my mom was cool in the way that like she was young, so she kind of like knew what was cool and shit. So I didn't have to be like, "Mom, I want Pokemon cards." She was like, "Hey, there's these cool things called Pokemon cards. Here you go. I bought you some." So she was like that. She'd be like, "Hey, there's this Game Boy. Do you want one? I'm like, I don't know what that is, but yeah, she bought me a Game Boy. Like she was like that. So she kind of introduced me to cards. She bought me a binder, bought me a booster box, and kind of like showed me how to organize them. That was that. And then she got with my stepdad, and I met my stepbrother, and he was into Yu-Gi-Oh! And ever since I ran into Yu-Gi-Oh! And I saw like the scary monsters and the devilish look to them and all that stuff, I fell in love with that. Dumped the Pokemon stuff and went like hardcore, like 7 to 10 years in Yu-Gi-Oh! Like I was battling, collecting, doing everything. And then I started playing sports and just completely lost. I stopped liking Star Wars. I stopped collecting cards and stopped doing all this stuff. My mom, I had the biggest Revenge of the Sith Hasbro collection you could fucking think of, because that's all I wanted was just Hasbro stuff. My mom gave that and all my cards to my cousins in Mexico, and that was that. So that was kind of like the end of my card era, and then COVID happened, and then there was nothing to do. And I started picking up on the Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh stuff again, just for fun at home. I found like some of my old cards that I was able to keep, and just started with that. And then eBay was like, oh, you can sell stuff on eBay. So I started selling cards on eBay. That turned into like a whole business where I was selling, before Whatnot was a thing, but there's this website called TCG Player, and it's where you can sell single cards. So I was selling a couple thousand cards a month through that website just on my own. So I was like, I'd go on like Facebook Marketplace, I'd go on like OfferUp and buy out people's binder collections and stuff, and I'd sit there and put each individual card on that website, and that's what pretty much I was doing. That went on, and then the great old 2021 market crash happened. So that's when all the Pokemon and all the Yu-Gi-Oh cards went from like $10,000 each to like $500 each. It wasn't like, oh, the market dipped. It was like it went from 100 to 5. Like it was an insane crash. All the boxes I had went from like $500 to $100. Like I lost so much money, kind of offloaded everything, and kind of called it a day. So that was round two of my card journey. And then round three was, I was again to Star Wars. I was really big on Star Wars again, doing the Lego. I was out at Target shopping for Lego, and I've always knew about the Star Wars cards. I just didn't know what the hell was going on. Star Wars cards. I saw the Ahsoka blaster box of 24 Chrome, and I bought one of those, and it was game over. I bought that, and I think the next week I ended up buying like, I did the thing that everyone does. The first like month, I accidentally spent like 5 grand on hobby boxes, blaster boxes, whatnot. I discovered Supreme on Whatnot when Hunter was streaming at like early on the day, like 2 p.m. or some shit like that. I was spending a lot of money with him. That's when I discovered synths, breaks. I was spending a lot of money with synth, and yeah. And then again, oh well, man, I'm all over the place with this story. The reason, so that's why I got back into cars. The reason why I started streaming, um, was because I don't know if you remember Drip Shop Live. It's another app, streaming app like Whatnot. They had hit me up to sell Lego on their app because they wanted to expand into other collectibles outside of Magic and Pokemon. So they wanted to start with Lego. So I went on there. Lego did not sell. I was sitting there 5 6 hours, maybe with $10 in sales or something. And then one day I just decided to start ripping my own boxes live and showing people these cards. And people started asking, like, can I buy these? Can I buy these? And so I started selling cards on Whatnot. And then someone was like, yo, come check out what I started selling cards on Drip. And I did that for 3 months. And that's when Tony came in and discovered this whole world of streaming. And then it was just dead. Literally, it was just us on Drip. It was me, Tony, like 5 other people, Optic, CB, Jungle. Like it was just our core group of people, just all hanging out with each other on when I was streaming. And then Tony started Whatnot in like January, and after a month of him doing Whatnot, I was like, "Fuck, I think I need to switch." So I switched over to Whatnot, and it's been here we are now. You know the story since.
Game over ever since.
Yeah,
No, yeah.
yeah.
That's pretty crazy. I didn't realize that that's kind of how you met Tony. I mean, he mentioned that was like kind of he like ran into you on Drip and stuff like that, but I didn't realize that was really the origin story of your guys' friendship. And same with
Oh
Joseph,
no,
I guess, too.
we met. Me and Tony met. It wasn't on Drip. It was on It was through Theory Sabers. We met through
Oh,
Theory Sabers, yeah. Because
interesting.
I got brought on as a influencer for Theory Sabers, and I think Tony was the first ever affiliate, and I was the second. So then, because Theory had hit me up through the Battle Packs Lego account and was like, "Hey, we want to work with you. I want to send you a saber, yada yada." And then they started like reposting my stuff, and then that's when Tony was like, "Oh, like someone else is on the program too." So that's how we started like talking and getting to like that's how I knew of Tony, but I didn't like know him. Like we weren't
Okay.
cool. So that's when we started talking, and then um I was posting my hits on my story, and then he was like, "Yo, like, where are you buying these?" And I was like, "Oh, I sell them on my stream on Drip." And that's when he came in, and I think that's when I ruined his life because he was spending like $300-400 a day, like every stream. Like he was going crazy. He was going
Hey.
crazy. The way he goes crazy now, he was
Mhm.
going crazy back then.
I
Yeah.
feel like he goes even crazier now, though. I don't know. Maybe
Yeah,
not.
back then it was just packs. He would buy like 10 packs a night. Now he's doming cases. He's like, "Oh, I got this exclusive, super rare, only 10 exist case of mayo. I'm a rip right now."
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's crazy. But those were well, that was the picture that you sent me and kind of the cards that we talked about. And my two closing questions, or at least my second to last, is what is your favorite piece? I guess, well, let me rephrase. What is the favorite piece that you've ever had in your collection? Because I know you kind of were saying that you rotate things and things like that. What's been the most like meaningful or standout piece that you've ever had?
Hmm. Let me go grab it real quick. I don't show this often. Not very many people know I have it. Mm. But this is probably like one of my grails. It's a 2002 Jango Fett Slave One sealed in the box in like very great condition box. So this doesn't have any like sentimental value or doesn't mean like the world to me. But as far as like you're not gonna see this often, is this right here. This like that like this is more rare than the autographed Luke card.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, it is.
yeah.
That's
So
crazy.
this I keep this in a dark place, temperature controlled. Nothing is allowed to touch it. Usually I have gloves when I bring it out because I don't want the oil because it's really old and sometimes the oil it's super nerdy, but sometimes the oil of your fingers can like mess up the box and stuff. But yeah, very very hard to find. The way I got it for free. I bought out a Lego collection, sold the rest, and the profit basically I still profited by with keeping this. So it was a good find.
Wow, that's pretty impressive.
Yes. Thank you, thank you,
And
thank you.
my last question is, since this is a collecting based podcast, if you can give one piece of advice to other collectors out there, what would it be?
Oh man, that's the loaded question. I have my so there's uh advice to collecting. My
Or maybe even maybe advice as a seller of collectibles. We could also spin it that way too.
uh yeah, it goes on both ways. You just have to make a decision as a person on what kind of collector you want to be. Um my best advice to most people is I know this is gonna hurt to a lot of people, but it is the truth, is most of the stuff you want to collect is in fact just junk. It is in fact just plastic. It's just made up. It's nothing real. It's just junk. So I just would not stress over any of it. I see a lot of people kind of like trying to buy it all, trying to have it all, and I just don't think that's a sustainable lifestyle. And I don't think the end goal of that life is happiness. So, and it just freaks me out because I see a lot of people who overconsume, who just have every $3 Funko, every $20 piece of plastic Lego thing. And I get it. It's an amazing, it feels good, but it's also not like the end all be all of life. And that's coming from a hardcore lover collector. I've had it all. I've tried collecting it all. If you would have seen my room a year ago, I had every Lego set. Like I've been there. I've been that guy that have shelves just like you with everything on it. And it I'm happier now with my one gunship in my closet full of very specific, unique treasure pieces like stuff like this that to me I smile late at night when I go to sleep knowing that this is just in the drawer, you know what I mean? Versus before I would get all this anxiety with all these Legos everywhere and all this kind of stuff. So I know a lot of people fall into the FOMO. They feel like they need to have everything. And it's a deep feeling. I know it comes from like the inside of your chest. You're like, I need to have it. But just remember, every time you get it, 3 months later, you're like, I don't have enough space for it, and you get rid of it. So that's my biggest. I think that's like the opposite of what everyone would probably say. And that's just I think the real side of collecting.
No, I
Um,
mean, I think that's
it's,
pretty on par with like a lot of people. I mean, there's definitely, I think what it kind of boils down to is you don't need to be a completionist. And I think one of
yeah,
the best pieces of advice that I've heard from another guest was if you look at something that you're wanting to buy and you see it as something that you don't see staying in your collection long term, or you're only buying it to have it for a little bit with the purposes of reselling, don't get
yeah.
it. Like you should really only get a collectible
Well,
if you really it means something.
I'm on the opposite side of that.
Really?
I'm on the I don't collect, I invest.
Okay.
Yeah. So then I know that's a and I don't I'm not very open about it because I know that way of being in this community is frowned upon and kind of like what do you mean like not everything's about the money, but let's just be real. I'm a grown man. I want kids, I want a house, I want my wife. It's all about the money, and if you tell me it's not, then we're not having the same kind of conversation. I just for myself, like I can't look at $100, right, and go buy something for $100, and then 6 months later it's worth $20. I can't look at myself as like a responsible man. That's like my kids rely on that, my wife relies on that, and like I can't like to spend all this money on everything that's just going to go down to zero. To me, it's a very irresponsible thing to do. So that's why I say I don't collect, I invest. Like this, I got for free. If I wanted to sell it for $1,300, that's $1,300, 100% profit. All the cards I get, I only get it if it's a good deal. All if I keep something, it's gonna go up. So I know it's not the greatest thing to do amongst this community, but yeah, that's how I feel
I mean,
personally.
everyone is different. Everyone has a different approach when it
Yeah,
comes to collecting, but I know that you definitely err on the side of more of a seller business portion of it. So it's just a different perspective, and that is perfectly okay.
yeah. I like to look at. I'm like a Luthen. You know what I mean? I like have
Okay.
I like very unique things that it's hard to find. You're not gonna get anywhere else. But I'm always if I always say, if the price is right, it's for sale. If the price is right, it's for sale.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, that was pretty much all the questions that I had. I really appreciated you coming on. It's been a great talking to you, learning a little bit more about you, maybe some things I didn't know, but also kind of just
Yeah.
reminiscing on a lot of the experiences that we've had together this year, which it's been quite a lot. So it was a pleasure getting to have you on. It's been a pleasure to have you as a friend and confidant in the community.
Awesome. Yeah.
It's awesome. So,
No, yeah, thank you. And appreciate you for inviting me on. I think this is like the second or third time I've ever done anything like this. So it's really fun, really fun to get out there and, put the story out. So we'll see how it goes. But I'm excited. This should be a fun thing to watch back in a couple of days or whenever you upload it. So again, yeah, thank you very much. It means a lot that you thought of me to put me on the show. So just want to
yeah.
say that, man. Thank you.
And we want to keep promoting the YouTube and your, building your brand and things like that. So before we hop
Yes.
off, can you tell people one more time where they can find you at and if you have anything upcoming that you want them to be on the lookout for?
Yes. All right. So you can find I live right now mainly on Instagram at Battle Poppy. Just hit up that account. You can find pretty much anything and everything from that account. The other place that I'm building on right now is YouTube. That's at Battle Poppy, same name, BATTLEPAPI. Same thing, building that up. But if you want to come hang out with me live every single day, I'm on Whatnot. I think the new schedule for me is 9 or 10 a.m. PST. So if you're up in the morning, got nothing to do, or you're on the East Coast and have some time in the afternoon, come by, say hi, pick up some packs. If not, I always tell people, if you want to just sit here and make fun of me, you're more than welcome just to do that. But yeah, come hang out with me every day live on Whatnot, and YouTube and Instagram is where you can pretty much see me.
Yes. And I will have all of
Yeah,
your links down in the description, guys. Please go follow him, help him build the brand. He's doing some great stuff and just got to watch the journey and see where it goes. But it was a pleasure getting to have you on.
thank you.
Yes.
Pleasure to be here.
And I will see everybody in the next episode. Bye, guys.